So after the Amber terrorists, they burned Capo Daniel, their family compound. I don't make some videos them, and I don't listen to the videos them, and I encourage every person for listener. When I know why, because I see myself in him in this very moment, the victim of Ambazonia terrorism. But the difference between me and ye, I say, I no do nothing for deserve the terrorism where it meet up me for my house of 2018. I be innocent of anything. I come out Cameroon at a very young age. I not get no interest in politics, whether not for abroad or for Cameroon. Never ever participate in any political activities ever, even for UK, let alone for Cameroon. But they target me, that's all. Now, the similarity end for day because Ambazonia terrorists now a product of people them like Capo Daniel. Now them radicalize this picking them send for Bush. So it is just get paid in your own coins. It is called poetic justice. And it is justice. So it deserve them. But still, it be very bitter. It be very angry. It express pain. And in that pain and anger, Capo Daniel talk a few things. It talks about it. Say it go investigate for find out the people them where they can burn their papa or their family compound. And that one na something way me I will also go through. I tell myself, say, question is why? Why would anyone target me? What to me I owe any person. I don't always try my best for be my brother's keeper, for help whenever the situation arise, for donate and contribute my own fair share. I never ever tip some money thing, but they target me. And also Capo Daniel it talks say even your own family, they don't want make it share their family tragedy, the story of the terrorist attack where they go under. That is exactly the same situation, not just with Capo Danieli family, but my family and millions of other Anglophone families the way they don't go through the same thing. The fear say the terrorism it go increase. Make I explain something for now. After the Amber terrorists they be attack me, they kept on sending messages for months after say they go can't do this, they go can't do this, they will burn in a house, they go kidnap your family members and all those things. Them. The terrorism did not end after that ordeal where they can't visit you for your house. It continued. They continue for send threats, death threats to the rest of your family members and including you and your I mean, it is unrelenting. And make I explain for now one of the reasons why they do that. They do that because they want you for shut up. They don't want you for talk. And now why that way I encourage and I appreciate Capo Daniel for coming out boldly for explain and talk say yes, I am a victim of a terror attack, and it talk exactly the circumstances the way they happen and who be responsible for that terror attack on your family. And now exactly this thing way it be push me for start my activism. I be no say it no be tenable. The situation cannot be allowed to continue when we my people them, not just me, because after they attack me, I survived. And I've been a person where I be in a situation where even if they burn my house or whatever, I go build another one, or I get the capability and the financial resources for fit build another one. What about other people the way that is the end? First of all, that family property where they burn up, it don't take a whole generation for build them. They don't have the means. And then remember, say, for example, for this couple Daniel a family house where they burn them, they burn other things them inside. Think about this, my contribute them. Put yourself in the shoes of that family where they go burn their house. They get grandpicking them for day, they get uncle brother them, they get people they went a refuge where they don't run from the village, they don't come for they can't seek refuge. You get IDPs them inside house. What do they bring with them? Their ID cards, their birth certificates, their documents, them, their land certificates, them, land documents, them, documents for proofs that you own this piece of land, marriage certificates. They get attestation from universities, from colleges, them. They get exam results, report cards. They get hospital booklets, them. They get, declaration of birth, nationality. They get personal effects, computers, laptops with memory cards inside where it hold. Una bear with me. They get documents them where or computers, laptops, and mobile phones them, mobile phone chargers, computer chargers them, the hard drives them where it hold important documents them where it belong to the whole family. When what we call them say sensitive information or information where it get what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, it get personal value where you know if it value on the Francie FA or dollars or pound sterling. No, it get personal value when there's something where it be useless for another person, but for you it's valuable. For example, maybe the picture for your grandpa, the picture for your grandmammy, the only picture where you get time is there for that house. Time where they come for your house, put yourself in the shoes of the victims. Time where the Amber terrorists they come for your house, you get picking them inside that house. You get mommy, maybe you get your sister, you get your loved one, maybe you get your wife. Okay, what it could be the first thing where it could go through your head when you see guns, when you see AK-47, Amber terrorists, drug addicts, they walk through your house. What it could be the first thing where you could think about them? You could think about land title, birth certificate, exam results, passports, ID cards, nationality. You could think about attestation for university. No, you don't. You could think about life at that particular moment when where everything they do you. You could try for protect life. For maybe see how well you feel beg, see how if you try for appease the terrorists because you just want to survive that moment. You are not thinking about the valuable things of the day inside that house. After they don't burn the house, they go. You manage, you survive that situation, okay? Then it will dawn on you how much you don't actually losses. The terror attack can last only 3 to 4 minutes, but in the next 3 to 4 hours, you could get heart attack. You could be in a state of total confusion and depression. And then after you recover from that, then you could start to count your losses. Things that they be inside that house, where they be invaluable. Things the way they be precious. Things the way they be priceless. Things the way you don't lose them forever. Memories, pictures, videos, your whole life, your whole generation. It don't go. They don't come burn them. They light fire. They don't even need up to 1 liter petrol. They need petrol for 200, 250. Matches cost how much? They light and burn the whole thing, then they go there. Then you are left behind to pick up the pieces. That's what has been happening to some of us. And then back then for 2018, when we want talk, the people them, the kind of people them like Capo Daniel, they come out and talk, say, hey, no be Amber, no tarnish the image for our revolution. Amber boy need a thief. Amber boy need to do that. They would deny flat, say no be Amber. That's what they were saying in 2018. If you insist, like I did, because I refused to be coward, I refused to be told what happened to me because I be dead. No, be not even couple that need here na here. Your brothers that explain what will happen. I do not have that luxury because I was there. Now me the slap him, now me the kick him, now me the torture him, now me the point the gun for my face. No be different person. Me, I know hearsay. I experience him. I smell the terrorist. I received the torture. I know hearsay. I was there. You understand? There is a difference. So when I come now in that pain, in that frustration, trying so desperately for understand why. Why was I targeted? Why did I almost lose my life? I go for social media. I start to watch, I did read about Ambazonia. I did watch kind live broadcast from Eric Tato, Tapping Ivo, Capo Daniel, Mark Barretta, this is and that. They do kind live broadcast them. Joshua Carr them, all of those people them they were doing Kamakan live broadcast them. I started listening to them, and then I realized and I understood why I almost got killed because of a lie, because of Ambazonia terrorism, because of Anglophone lies, the manipulation, the radicalization, the misinformation, spreading of fake news. They confuse my own cousins, brothers, junior ones them from my own community and intoxicate them, give them some kind of concoctions or they, she, and Anglophones, they don't suffer. Give them guns, give them alcohol and drugs, and then unleash them into our communities. And that's why I almost lost my life. That's why they almost killed me. Something I had no idea of. I not get no connection. I not get no hand in our political gimmicks for Cameroon. Not my business. And I almost lost my life because they radicalized my own gullible youth from my community, send them after me. So when I survive, I want talk. They try for shut me up. They try for bully me. Amber boy, no the thief. No be Amber. No be Amber. I insisted and I narrated the story. The more they try for shut me up, the more I be enraged. The more I be understand, say I get to stand on the rooftop and shout my story. The more they try to shut me up. They go on now for talk say, no be Amber, Nantanganji boys, they become attack you. Amber boy, no the thief, Nantanganji boys. They tried that. When I insisted, because the beginning where they can't attack me, they did not fall from the sky. They not come out from a different community. They're not getting at 3 heads. They're not getting a different skin color. I know them. I know their names, their papa, their mommy, their house. I know the children who tried to kill me. I know them, the children from that community. So when I insisted, finally, the idiots, they tell me, say, we have to break eggs to make an omelette. They tell me, say, independence is not free. We have to shed blood. That tells me that they knew all along what they were doing. They were unleashing this terror onto the communities. It was deliberate. It was not by chance or by some kind of a mistake or something where they know. No, they knew. Say they go radicalize the gullible shit. No why blast them send made a cause, made it some people they die. Those people, as long as them are my family member, I don't care. As long as they go burn a different money house, I don't care. May they destroy, as long as they're not destroying my property or my family, I don't care, because we have to shed blood, because we have to break eggs to make an omelette. That was their rationale. That was their explanation. I was just supposed to shut up and die. I was just supposed to shut up and be the broken egg. How dare you survive? How dare you then try to speak? How dare you complain? How dare you not be a willing victim so that we can gain our so called independence? That was the message they transmitted to me. And transmission was received. And the more I got this message, the more I understood I could not afford to be silent. The more I understood I had to speak up. Even though, like Capo Dem don't explain them, family members and other people, they not be want the story told because they were afraid of the consequences, because the threat would intensify. I knew I could not afford to shut up. I could not, because I was just a tip of the iceberg. Imagine the millions of my people who were going through the same thing, did not have the same vantage point, the same educational background, the same communication skills, the same attention to detail, the same zeal and the same impetus and the same abilities that I have to be able to speak up, to be able to make a difference. That is why my Black Legism was born. So I decided to speak up, and I started one video at a time, one audio at a time, one post on Facebook at a time, one fake Facebook account at a time, one Facebook page at a time. Today, we don't overtake the Ambazonia terrorists for communication on social media. We don't delete their accounts them from the Mark Barretta them to the Tapang Ivo them to the Ayabacho them. We don't delete their profiles and accounts and presence on social media, and we don't take over social media communication space. We don't even turn some of their so-called activists into blacklegs. For example, Yannick Sikot, Scam and Congo, and the rest. You know the rest. You know the stories. We don't turn the tables upside down on the Ambazonia terrorism. And like I said, none of Una, where Una never go through this, Una fit understand the anguish, the pain, the anger, especially when you be totally and completely innocent and they attack you, that's all. And then in that pain, in that confusion, in that anguish, in that frustration. You want to vent out. You want a listening ear. You just want to explain what will happen for you. Make some person somewhere make it sympathize with you. They say a problem shared is a problem halved. You want to explain, you want to share your problems or your story just to get a listening ear. But no, the Ambazonian terrorists, they threaten you the more. The more I spoke, the more they threatened me. The more they threatened me, the more I spoke. And this is where we are today. So, Capo Daniel, you call yourself Commander-in-Chief of the Dark Forces. My advice for you now for activate or deploy the Dark Forces. Identify the picking the way they can burn in a house, because that's what I did. I identified them and I killed them. I am proud to say it. All of those picking, they don't either be killed or they don't run. That is something I am very proud to say. I identify them and I directly lead, ensure say they wipe the picking them. One or two of them, they're still there alive. They're only there alive because I want them to be alive. Because one day I want them to apologize for me face to face, and I want them to tell the story. That's the reason they're still there alive. And I know exactly who's way the day. I keep track on them. They begin the way they will attack me. So Capo Daniel, he yourself, he don't talk for you publications them today, the 8th of January 2025, about how it go track the beginning where they burned their papaya house. That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what I was doing. So when I see him say this, so when it touch you finally, someone will go even act worse than what way me I be done I be doing with my black legacy, because all along again not only my internet connection, my mobile phone, my big mouth, and my publications why they make them on Facebook. I know carry gun. But over the years, I don't build the capacity and the capability and the influence on the ground for also make things happen. Thank you plenty. If you don't listen to this audio to the end, share them to one or two friends them.
Greetings, fellow Ambazonians. The one at Chairman Capo Daniel. Today, 8th day for this month for January 2025. I want to show my face because one of our mammy day way, na the woman where they be cut his hand. Man, not talk me some mango catch and kill and full for inside the Southwest day. One of the woman the way in the initial stage for this struggle, they be cut his hand. Our fighter they be cut his hand. Then where Eric Tato be talk to me then do Gary process. That mommy I be hella be eating. Anytime where that mommy talk for me I dey hear. The mommy then talk say what people then want to see my face. No be do that audio I put her out. I then share the video for our compound with them born am. Our own Ambazonian fighter then come born me, a whole me Capo Daniel. My house, not be my house, no my papa a house. I dey stay now for a year for Canada. I need to stay for day. That house, now our family house, not be just the property itself. Now a symbol of my childhood and the childhood of many of our father's children. That house, it don't host people them way they don't be big people them. It don't host hundreds of boom people them, hundreds of come people them, where they don't come for Bamenda, they no get place for stay, they can't stay for our house. I dey grow up, my mommy be the cook chop lesson for restaurant. Now that house where it be the center where they be the cry like news for this side from Queen. Apart from Boom Quarter, where they for Old Town. Now house that we achieve them for Boom, they don't stay for the house. Now house that we give memories, that house itself, it symbolizes more than just my childhood. My clothes them the way I grew up 11 for the house, is it for the my bed, my mattress, it for the house. So my sister will be done die, a cackle in for the house. When I visit that room, we no born on my sister, a room that it can be burnt by our own Ambazonian fighters, traumatizing and terrorizing my own family, despite the sacrifices the one I make and for stand out for put my face there for this struggle. Even when we get differences, they always get that respect. But if our boy they no fear for can't touch even my own family compound, my childhood home. That tells you the state in which these boys have become. Terrorizing young children. There were children in that house who were less than 10 years old. My brother was sleeping. The child came and wake him up and said, Papa, Amba. Where the round whole neighbor bring her for door. Whole neighbor bring her for door. Me door, neighbor knock door. Neighbor they knock door. They talk so on open door. They the one that said the time they supposed to already lock gate now for night. How neighbor could they come for can't talk me the open door? They are speaking, picking go for door, picking open the door because that door, the iron door, be for day. They open door, they enter, then tell the neighbor me go back. We missing a people there, they become only for one mission, for come burn the house. Then come with jerrycan, petrol for jerrycan, where they already buy them. 2 of them. Then grab people then for house, move them for outside. My brother was in terror. The wife terrorized, children terrorized. They don't know what will happen, whether they will shoot them or not. But the boy appeared to be very calm, soft-spoken, reassuring them. Even though when the one go, then she shoot gun for up. But it is pure terrorism. It is shameful act, coward act. Anybody who if you take gun, you do this for our people them. You are a criminal. You are a thief. You are worse than Lucifer. Anybody, those soldiers, irrespective, there is no justification. No justification at all to do such a crime. Especially for a prominent person like me. Go and look the record. I push our narrative. I did at least 70% of our international and local press presentation for Ambazonian cause. I'm dedicated and committed to this cause. For anybody to touch my own family is unconscionable. It's unacceptable. It was done by our own Ambazonian fighters. Even a baby say, Papa, Amba, Amba. That is what people are going through. My testimony of this, irrespective of who sent those boys, eventually, trust me, I would identify those particular boys who did that act. This coward, criminal, and evil, demonic act, shameful act. They were Banso boys, based on their accent, when they spoke, and they were avoiding to talk, wearing masks and gloves, thick jackets, as usual. We will identify those particular boys. We are trying to learn exactly what happened. And this is happening just 2 days after I intervened for the release of Justice Nchang Augustine. The justice who was kidnapped by our own Ambazonian boys around Bambili area and taken to Tuba. I intervened. I called our boys back with them. We even sent boys, they even dispatched boys there to go there to struggle so that that pa should come out alive unhurt. This is the pa, this justice. He was one of the Anglophone who was sent to I think it's Adamawa or somewhere in Francophone areas because they wanted to replace them with Francophones. That triggered our anger. That these are the people that symbolizes what we were fighting for. Young men like myself who rose up and bought Ambazonian flag, 1,000 Ambazonian flag from China. Share it in Ground Zero for our people to embrace the Ambazonian struggle. Share it in the diaspora for free. There is no excuse and justification. This is a shame. If you have been doubting what our people are going through in the hands of our boys, I stand today to testify to you that those boys have become criminals, are terrorizing our same communities, committing atrocity. When ELAT, the International Research Organization, put out their communique, some people in the diaspora were doubting. Some were trying to cover up because of our greater desire to be free. Freedom cannot come by us covering up criminal acts that terrorizes our own people, trading one terrorism to another terrorism or one oppression for another oppression. Freedom comes when we stand our ground on principles that criminal actions are not acceptable. I, in particular, I have never supported, advocated, or even accommodate terrorism against innocent civilians who have nothing to do with activities of this struggle. What has my family got to do with this struggle? You have burned the house. I'm here. I'm here living in Canada. What stupidity is that? What a tragedy. What a shame for us Anglophone. Can Seseko come up and defend this act? Because my suspicion, based on the trend and internal conflict from my family, I am suspicious of the person who commit this act. I already have a person that I suspect based on activity that some of my relatives have been doing recently. So I have my suspicion that this thing come from my own in-law. That is my suspicion. This is not to direct anybody's anger against him, but it is my suspicion as I wait to get, I will get evidence of what is happening. But based on the information and what has been happening to me, even here, right here in Canada, I suspect my in-law. Nevertheless, it was done by Ambazonian fighters. Those fighters have become tool to settle scores. I've had people who have called me to tell me it is Ayabacho, it is... No. When Justin Ngang Augustine was kidnapped, the kidnappers sent messages out that it was Lucas Asu. And I told them, stop that nonsense. Because we cannot be accusing people because we hate them or because of their character. We accuse people based on evidence or substantial indications that can lead us to believe. If a ADF could do something, they could have done it when I left Ayabacho. Ayabacho did not. Yes, they tried to instigate people, but every information he was giving to soldiers and the discussions we were having, soldiers and people in the AGOFC was giving it to me. They never crossed that line. They never. If they could or if they wished, they could have done it previously. I have known when our soldiers have threatened us. It is always about us building new camps that challenges their dominance in certain areas. We know their sensitivity. There is no justification to carry out such a shameful and embarrassing act. If you are touching Capo Daniel, if a person who have led Ambazonian delegation to negotiate on your behalf and in behalf of our struggle can be targeted, it means that there is no hope for this struggle. We should recognize this fact. We should recognize what is happening on ground zero, that our boys have become a security threat that poses security risk to every person in ground zero. You are hearing this thing now because it is me. Thousands of our people have handled cases upon cases where people have been traumatized, they have been terrorized, and they are even afraid to even speak out for further retribution. Even my own family would not even want to talk about this issue. They don't even want me to talk about this issue. They don't even want their story to be heard. But I, as a public figure that have played such a crucial part in this struggle, I'm obligated to account to the people, to you, what I'm going through, what my family have been subjected to, what my neighbors have been subjected to. The whole quarter came out. Quarter heads are coming there to come and see. People that my family do not even know. They're coming to see where Ambazonians, where Naso Udambi. We must recognize this reality. The struggle have been diverted. Our boys who were supposed to be the jewel, those who represent the conscience of our struggle, are now thieves, are now criminals, are now committing crime against our people. These are acts of terrorism. These are not justifiable acts. These are demonic acts, irrespective of where it comes from. Whether it is Sako, whether it is the Cameroon government, what is that? Ironically, the Cameroon commander in that area, the big commander there, I don't want to call his name, he came to our compound and talked to people and console people and personally called the army rescue who could not come. But the commander of the army rescue drove there with his car to come and tell people that there was no way for them to come because their car is broken down. If they put water in that car, it would just worsen the situation. So they were useless. But at least they show up to console. So who is going to protect us? Who? Who is going to stop this senseless derailment? Who is going to do that for us? Our people cannot be allowed to suffer like this forever. They cannot. This problem, you see, if you know the life we have saved, I have been told by people who are very close to the power, very top people who are very credible, the reason why Paul Biya came out to say that the door for negotiation is still open is primarily because of my stance and my leadership and my organization, our influence. Imagine the life we have saved for these 2 years that the Cameroon government and the military have stopped reprisal attacks. Imagine the lives we have saved. Imagine the life we can save. We must all reflect on what has happened. We must take it seriously. And I urge my political rivals and internal enemies within our struggle to truly reflect in what has happened to me and my family. To reflect and take your time. Reflect, take your time. I only have suspicion based on substantial evidence and indications of trend that have been happening to me. Because when something happens to you, you can easily suspect where it is coming from. I don't believe this have anything to do with the military. They could have done something to my family if they wanted to. Even when Regina Mundi was arrested, and I was the main figure in that issue. If it was Ambazonian fighters, you could have seen the vindicative nature of their approach. You could have seen their anger towards my family. You could have heard them making threats or giving warning. None of those things. They came there to do their job, paid job, and go back. It was nothing to do with politics. This is the stark reality. It pains very badly. It doesn't matter whether it was Cameroon or whoever. It pains. What matters is the people who light that matches, who did that act, were Ambazonian fighters. Who can say it didn't happen? Who can say it is not Ambazonian fighters? Even a child could speak. Even a child. If you want to deceive yourself, go ahead. But know that if it can happen to me, this is a new low. New low. Sacrificial lamb. Selfless person. How many people have I helped to rescue them? Even the Ambazonian various rivals, when they kidnap their family member, they come to me. When I talk to the soldiers, my influence over them, do you think it's because they are afraid of a gun that I carry? No, it's because of the integrity and the way I have pushed their struggle that they listen to me. I've helped them, teach them how to fight well better, promote their causes. When the community rise up against those boys, I have been the shield. I've been the one to advocate for their rights, for self-defense. We have done everything. This is a new law. I just call on all Ambazonians to reflect about this thing that have happened to me by our own boys. To reflect. I wouldn't want to push my political stance in putting this video, because the only reason I'm making this particular video is because one of our mami, who has spent her time for almost more than 5 years praying with me every day, praying for my life, that God should help me so that we can help our people right from the beginning. When Gary Boy was very popular, that woman was always with me. So she has said people want to see my face. But this will not deter my determination to speak for justice and fight for our people. Just like Daniel in the Bible, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who were in exile, were praying back for their home and speaking for justice to their home. I will continue undeterred, even more motivated, because I see the problem in our community that we must fix. I see the insecurity, terrorism that our people are enduring, which we must confront, which we must solve, which we must take responsibility for. We cannot shy away from it. We cannot. So, to those who sympathize with my situation and my family, the best answer you can give is to send your support, financial support, to help me to rebuild that house that have been destroyed. Don't let me do it out of my pocket. Help me to rebuild. My number, my PayPal account, you can reach me directly. And by the way, my Hong Kong number do not exist. If you see that number in any chat group or in anything, please send a new invitation to my current number so that we can continue to engage our people as we go through this very tough time, this very trying period. We'll continue to advocate for peace by peaceful means, for justice in a fair manner that addresses the root causes of this issue in a way that is satisfactory and effective, that will lead to sustainable peace for our people and greater freedom for them, and an end to this war of shame. It is indeed a war of shame.